Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
So it took approximately 2.5 years for the information of freedom to reach Texas. But however, I must say this for the African American community, it has been a celebration, holiday, a good time, and a sense of freedom since 1865. It will be held next Saturday, June the 13th, from 12 noon to 4 o'clock, and it will be held at the Martin Luther King Pavilion.
Welcome to Valley Vibes, your show about culture, arts, and happenings in the Imperial Valley from a youth perspective. I'm Dr. Tom Tackey, the creator and executive producer of Valley Vibes. Today, we will be visiting with Marleen Thomas of the Imperial Valley Social Justice Committee to hear about the Juneteenth event that is happening on Saturday, June 13th. Following that, we will be talking with the California State Championship Migrant Debate Team from Central Union High School. It's a fun show, so let's get started. Welcome to Valley Vibes. I'm Dr. Tom Tackey, and I'm sitting here with our friend, Marleen Thomas. Marleen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I have a little cold, but I'm doing great and very grateful that I'm here with you today, Mr. Tackey.
You know, this is that time of year that those summertime colds are just bad. But, you know, I fortunately have escaped it so far, knock on wood. But anyway, but we're here because Marleen and the Imperial Valley Social Justice Committee are putting on a really great event on June 13th. It's the Juneteenth, celebrate a day of freedom.
It will be held next Saturday, June the 13th, from 12 noon to 4 o'clock, and it will be held at the Martin Luther King Pavilion.
Wow, that is great. And you've had this event going for what, 8-9 years now, or how long has it been that this Juneteenth event's going on?
Actually, it's been going on about 19 years, but
wow.
So, yes, it's been going on for quite a while, and we've grown and we've expanded. And it's a real community event. It's for families, especially for families and children. Come on out.
Yeah, and pardon my ignorance there, but 19 years, that's incredible. So with, you've got vendors are going to be there. You say a lot of things for families and kids. What types of things are the kids going to get to enjoy at Juneteenth?
Well, we have a whole section that is cut out specifically for the children. We'll have giveaways. They'll have arts and crafts, drawings, different types of games, and it will be orchestrated or coordinated by Mrs. Alex. Yeah. So, and everything is free. There's no cost to come to the pavilion on Saturday, June the 13th, and enjoy yourself.
Wow, it sounds like a good time. We participated a couple of years ago, and it was a really fun event. This has been, you know, a little bit bigger facility. So let's hope that we can get some more people out. But now, so Juneteenth became a federal holiday. What? 4 years ago, 2021.
Under President Biden, 2021. So we're very excited. But however, I must say this for the African American community, it has been a celebration, holiday, a good time, and a sense of freedom since 1863. 65, I'm sorry.
65, yeah.
65. Mm-hmm.
And for those that, you know, don't know about Juneteenth, I guess, you know. Um, Tell us a little bit of the story of of what Juneteenth is.
Juneteenth came about after the sorry. Juneteenth came about after the Emancipation Proclamation that was signed in 1863, and unfortunately, everyone didn't have the information like we have it today, same time. So it took approximately 2.5 years for the information of freedom to reach Texas. And we're talking about 2.5 years that technically they remained in bondage, in slavery, and before they were made aware. Colonel Granger and his troops, which were primarily African Americans, reached Galveston, Texas. And at that time, 2.5 years later, they informed them that they were now on paper free.
And that's just, well, I don't want to say it's hard to imagine, because I can imagine it, exactly that type of thing going on in the South. The denial that the war was over, that Emancipation Proclamation had actually happened. And I think you said it well, that it took a while for the information to travel. I think when we look at today with our 24-hour news cycle, and we have plenty of information, and not always very accurate information, but it does travel quickly. So that became a recognized holiday, like you said, within the African American community. But really and truly, it's a holiday for everybody, isn't it?
Of course it is. It's just at that time that it was celebrated initially. It was an African American, and to them at that time it wasn't for a holiday. It was freedom. That's exactly what it was. It was never a holiday during that time. But after time has passed by, information and knowledge about the Emancipation Proclamation and the freedom of the African American people, we now have it as a national holiday, which was not only started, but Opal Lee, and this is a name that hopefully you'll remember. Opal Lee walked 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles at the age of 87 years old from Fort Worth, Texas to the White House, promoting the national holiday. And so she is now known as the grandmother of the Juneteenth holiday. And presently in Fort Worth, Texas, beginning this year, they will be establishing a Juneteenth museum. So if you're ever in Texas, check it out.
Right, absolutely. So she walked from Fort Worth to the White House at 87 years old.
Yes, indeed. And some of us can't walk outside the door. But she did, and what they did, she 2.2. She'd walk 2.2, they'd stop, take her back. The next day, she'd start from that point and go on and on. So she did that 2.5, I said, every day till she got there, over 1,000 miles. So she was very, very determined. So that shows you how much Juneteenth really means. And it really means a lot to people, really to all people. And we honor her. And matter of fact, at the celebration Saturday, June the 13th at 12 noon. We also have Opal 2.2 presentation. So please come out.
That's incredible. Yes, and so again, this is at the Martin Luther King Center, the Martin Luther King Jr. Sports Pavilion at 770 Park Avenue here in El Centro, and it's from 12 to 4. Lots of fun stuff happening at it. The when I kind of think about Juneteenth, it's I did you ever see the movie Alice? It came out about 3 years ago. It was about a woman who was still enslaved, and it was like modern day. They were on a plantation in, I believe, like this is a fictional movie, but it was like they're in South Carolina, I believe. And I think she, somehow she escaped there, and the way of life was just completely different. And the people that kind of found her thought she was kind of nuts, but they found where she came from, and it was unreal. But the story was based on a true story, that there was somebody that is still enslaved in the early 1970s, the early to late 1970s, that they were unaware that they shouldn't have been. Unreal. I mean, how do we deal with that type of mentality? I'm going to put your social justice hat on. You've got your hat on right now, and I think so. Let's talk a little bit about how do we deal with those types of injustices?
There's no one way to deal with it. First of all, many of us say we should love, or we're all alike under God, which is all true, but we don't deal like that and see each other in that way. So we have to look at it from a more of a what's the word? A realistic approach, and that is starting even from families. If people look at each other and recognize each other as being human, that's basically it's just being human. But what happens in America? Our families start out. That's where we learn all this prejudice and stuff. It's from family, and then to school, and then it escalates. And that's what's going on now in the world. We don't recognize each other as humans. And how you do that, I have no idea. But I know that I was raised that way. I was not raised to call people in terms out of their names, or I just wasn't raised that way, and I didn't know that was a good thing. I don't want you to think this is a good thing I'm saying. I had no idea. My mother said we were all the same, and that was it. But I soon recognized that we were not all the same in the eyes of human beings. Maybe in the eyesight of God, but we sure weren't the same with each other. So I think it's an individual thing that we just need to be better persons. And one of the things that we're going to do here, that is Project Kindness. That's what we're working on here at Social Justice, that we're going to the schools and the after-school programs and any place else if they want us to teach kindness. People don't know how to be kindness. They don't know how to be nice. And really sometimes children are not aware of how to be nice or kind. They're just not taught that or shown that. So what little piece we could do, we're going to go out and spread seeds of kindness. I hope I answered your question.
And that does. I mean, it's. I like that idea of helping people to understand what kindness is and to get it into their life. I was just reading an article this last week about how the more connected we are, the more isolated we are, and that people are on their phones or on social media and everything so much that they don't interact with their next door neighbors whatsoever. They don't know who they are, and they're just by themselves. And so I think you're right. If you can get into the schools and get in early enough, that's a great thing. I have a grandson that lives in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and he's a second grader, but he's won this kind of a good citizenship award several times at his school, which is cool but that school is doing what you're kind of suggesting. They're honoring those that display, good citizenship.
And it's not only when you're in the schools, it's not only for those that have been, I'll use the word victimized by the bullies and whatever, but it's also for the bully, because you can always trace back that there's something in their life, in their young life, that has roots to their behavior. So hopefully this will help both of them. Yeah, it's great.
Well, and if it only helps just a small few, it's the ripple effect. It is the ripple effect, we hope, and goes from there. And it's like, I look at this Juneteenth event and being here in El Centro, I think it's a beautiful thing. We're close to that Arizona border where, they didn't want to have the Martin Luther King holiday, until they're the last one to do it. Like, what, 5 minutes ago? But, and so to make Juneteenth a holiday, probably...
You're so right, because when you look at the population of the African American community here in the Valley, it's amazing the influence and the things that we do in meeting and engaging in our community. And one of the things not one of the things, I say that a lot, that's a bad word, one of the things, but when you look back, I don't want to take us too far back in history, but at one time, you take Calexico. Calexico had a decent population. I was born and raised in Calexico. People think, no way, we're 99% Mexican Americans. No, that's now. But then it was not that way. Then you come into Heber. Heber was still a small town, but a small town of farmers, white farmers. And then you get to El Centro, where the east side was 25 to 30% of the population. And you keep going on to Imperial and Brawley. So we had a strong, active, very, very active population of people in Imperial County. What's happening now is very little, but there's a lot of deep history in the makings of Imperial Valley, from the Blue Angels to the desegregations of schools and the beginning of credit unions. And there's just so much that's going on that the Black population was integral in the foundation of Imperial County, and we still are. We don't have the numbers, but we have the influence.
And yeah, that's absolutely the truth. I've had the opportunity to kind of look at some of the Black history from here, and it's incredible. It truly is incredible. Maybe that's going to be another show that you and I need to sit down and talk about some of that from time to time. I love having you as a regular guest. And
Yeah, and we have taken over the African American Gallery out at Pioneers Museum. Yeah, we're very active there.
Excellent. Well, Marleen, this has been a great conversation, albeit short. But again, the Juneteenth celebration is going to be on the 13th of June here in El Centro at the Dr. Martin Luther King Center there on what they say it's on Park Avenue, but it's kind of on the corner of 8th and Park. Okay. From noon to 4 p.m. and it's free. How good is that? So come check it out. I assure you it's going to be a good time. I know I'm going to be there. Marleen's going to be there.
Hopefully, when you're there, you can bring your setup and kind of interview some of the people who are at the event.
That's a wonderful idea. I'll do it. Thank you, Marleen.
Quite welcome. Very welcome. And don't forget, come out, bring your kids. There's a lot of fun, good entertainment, different types of entertainment, and vendors. You can find some unique gifts and more.
That's right. Okay, we'll see you there.
You're listening to Valley Vibes. All Valley Vibes episodes are available on the Spartan Sound Productions YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Amazon, and Apple.
That was fun talking with Marleen Thomas about That was fun talking with Marleen Thomas all about the Juneteenth event that's happening on June 13th at the Martin Luther King Pavilion right here in El Centro from 12 to 4. So make sure you come out and join us. Next up on Valley Vibes, we have the California State Championship Migrant Debate Team from Central Union High School here to tell us all about that experience. Hello. I am sitting here with the State Championship Migrant Debate Team. Why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Cassandra Wong, and I was the lead cross-examiner for Migrant Debate Team.
Hi, my name is Carla Machado, and I was the lead response for the debate.
Hi, my name is Alexis Cervantes, a junior, and I was the lead rebuttal.
Hi, I am Emmanuel Wong, and I was the lead closer for our debate competition.
Wow. And you guys were here a few weeks ago telling us all about getting ready for the state competition, and you went up there and did it. I mean, you came home with the trophy. 2 years ago you came in, second? Was that it?
Yeah, I think I was second.
And last year you came in third.
Yeah.
And this year you came in first. That's amazing. So let's kind of talk about that whole experience in Monterey. And what does it mean for Central to come back with a championship?
I think it shows that since our debate team is made of mostly Spanish-speaking students, it shows that we can persevere and do amazing things even if English isn't our first language. And we worked hard to get to this point, so...
So the debate is all in English?
Yeah, there's an English debate competition, and then there's a Spanish debate competition. We competed for the English.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it also shows, our Spartan pride, when they called up our names, I just felt kind of pride for our school and that we were able to accomplish that because there were several competing students from all over the state, teams, so it was kind of amazing that we were able to win first.
I would also like to reiterate that it was the first time that Central won first place, with our debate coach, and it just highlighted our dedication. Like all of those practices, all those Saturdays we dedicated to our debate and our research and our practice, and it really showed, it really did make the difference over there at in-state, because as my teammate already mentioned, there were a lot of like competitive teams. Like they were really good. Like once they started talking, we were like, oh, okay, we need to lock in. We need to do really good. And like despite that, like we were able to do the best we could and dominate.
Yeah, I would like to highlight the fact of how helpful our coach was, Mr. Davila. He's not here today, but yeah, a little shout out. You know, he's been doing this for a decade already, huh? Yeah. Like longer than a decade, many years. And this is his first time winning first. So with our team, it just shows like all the effort he put into all the previous teams, how it just all came together with us and just concluded his career as a debate coach. Is he gonna retire? He said he was gonna retire.
Oh, maybe. It depends on if we do it or
not. Oh, well, forget I said that then.
You know what? Just restart.
Sorry, I thought he was gonna retire.
He said it depends.
He's scaring us because he wants us to do it. Oh, well, he wants us to do it again because he mentioned how this year we had a strong team and he really liked it, but we were debating if we should do speech or debate for our last year because we're going to graduate next year. And I think he was just encouraging us to do it again next year so we could just come back stronger next year for debate in our state competition if we do get there, hopefully. And just like do even better than this year. For like, he mentioned how he wanted it to be obvious that we won. Like, not to be like stressing on, did we place or not? It's like, no, we dominated, we came here and we're going to take the trophy for sure. Like, he didn't want to doubt in our mind.
So, yeah, and that's great because you guys are all. There was was there one senior on your team? No. Okay, so no seniors. You won state, so you know the chance of going back and being on the podium again should be pretty good, huh? Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what a debate competition looks like. I mean. A long time ago, there's this movie. It was this British comedy thing. I'm trying to remember. It was the Benny Hill Players, but they had a little sketch in there about debate, and the guy paid to debate with somebody, and he goes, "Well, no, you didn't pay. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. No, you're only contradicting me now." And so, debate isn't contradiction, is it?
I would say it is a little bit.
It is a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, but tell us, how does the competition work? What do teams do with each other, against each other, and all of that?
I mentioned how it's very structured.
Okay, so when one like thinks of debate, like it's not like in the shows where it's like just two teams up on a stage. It's not that type of debate. It's several rounds. I think there was like 11 teams in total.
I would
like 11, 13 teams. And we each got a designated classroom because it was located the competition at a high school, and we got assigned a classroom in which we were going to compete against another team. And in that classroom, there was 2 judges who would listen into our debate, and then our coaches could go in there as well. And there was 5 rounds in total. 4 rounds, and we had 1 bye round. So we competed in 3 rounds.
4 rounds.
4 rounds.
1 bye.
What did he say 4? There's 5 rounds.
There's 5 rounds, but 1
But
bye.
we only did 4. Okay. And then we competed against 4 different teams in these rounds. So it was nice to see like all the different teams and how they came together as well.
So is there a known topic ahead of time?
Yes, we have. Our topic was. It
was like,
AI's impact on our sense of
reality.
is it more harmful or helpful?
Wow.
And the pro side was more
beneficial.
helpful than harmful, and the negative side was it was more harmful than helpful.
And we had to be prepared for
for both
everyone,
sides.
yeah.
Yeah.
For both.
Because we
Yeah.
didn't know, yeah.
It's basically you flip a coin and you get what you get, and
Yeah.
you just have to prepare. Yeah.
That's why it's kind of contradictory. Because you could be arguing one thing, like one round, be like, oh, it's bad because of this. But then in the next round, you get the affirmative side, and you have to be like, no, it's good for you. So it's kind of contradictory in that sense.
So you really get to know the issue, you
Yeah.
know, fully. That's great. I mean, I think that's especially with AI right now. I think,
Yeah.
you know, where do you guys land on it? I mean, let's talk personally. You know, each of you. You know, what do you think is AI? You know, AI's here, so. Is it a good thing for you? Is it a bad thing? Are you kind of split? What do you all think?
I think since we were trained to be more unbiased about this, it's a lot harder to say because since we were able to research both sides, so it's hard because we know what's bad and what's good, like in depth. But if I really think about it, I do think it's worse for you because there's a lot of medical benefits, for example, but there's also the emotional and psychological impact that is more widespread with AI because it's more accessible online than medically. So I think it is worse for you, but
I would say I'm in between because, as she mentioned, there are a lot of benefits, but there are also like a lot of like negative effects to that. Because like as she mentioned, like a lot of medical benefits, like AI is helping individuals suffering from disabilities, and they're getting to experience stuff that they could have never lived through if it wasn't thanks to AI. And some of the things they found out is that they get like eyesight.
It was the limbs, prosthetic limbs that are designed with AI. There's the smart wheelchair for individuals who suffer from mobility issues. There's also apps that contain AI for people with visual disabilities, impairment, in which it translates, like live translation, and it like guides people. And so there's different benefits to AI in the field of disabilities for the medical field.
I mean, like truly, like picture this, like something that we take for granted every day, like seeing your mom, looking at your mom in the face every day, is something that we take for granted. But for someone that suffers from visual impairment, like they could have never experienced that, and now they can thanks to AI. Like it has a lot of benefits, but at the same time, as my teammate also mentioned, there are a lot of like negative effects. Like some people could commit suicide thanks to
Because of AI. There's been cases where young individuals, especially teenagers, companies, well, they don't target teenagers, but they're the ones who are most vulnerable because they're mentally, like, immature. They're mentally immature, so they're more vulnerable to the ethical violations that AI poses. There was a case I'll just say it was a case with Adam Rain. I believe it was like 2 years ago, and this AI chatbot.
It was this year.
It was
in
this
January.
Year? Oh,
yeah.
It was this year, and with an AI chatbot, and it it basically guided him to commit suicide. It like pushed him to commit suicide. It didn't.
It encouraged him.
It encouraged him. Yeah, it encouraged him to commit suicide. So there's like those guidelines where like yes, in one aspect it's really positive, but in the other aspect it poses like questions on the ethicality of it.
But at the same time, there are being guidelines put in place. But it's just like you can never, like, for sure, you know?
Yeah, so this conversation that we're having right now sounds a lot like in the debate room.
Yeah.
You know? Like this is how we would prove our points and show our stances. But yeah, I think since I had to convince myself that AI was good for the sake of the topic, you know, AI is like always seen as a bad thing. Just the fact that I got to really like research on it more, I think now I see it more as a beneficial thing. Especially because for this debate, when we were arguing pro side, we had our little motto that AI is just a tool.
Yeah.
And just that thing alone, like it makes me see AI in a different way. That is, it's used in wrong ways, and that's why it's bad. So, yeah, it's a user's fault.
That was one of our main arguments.
Right, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to kind of point that out that AI is nothing more than a tool, and each tool can be used for good or bad. You know, a hammer can be used to build, and it can be used to destroy, right? Yeah. And so I know, like, personally, I use AI quite a bit for helping design scripts for some of the podcasts that we do. But I don't allow it to be the only way it works, because I've used it enough that it is developing the style of what I would use. Yeah. And so it does, that tool becomes a little bit stronger that way. But if I accept just verbatim what it provides, it comes off very wooden, it comes off very AI, it comes off very false a lot of times, because it will make things up that aren't true. Yeah. And so you have to be really careful that you proofread what's there, and you demand that it provides the viewpoint that you want it to have. Otherwise, you're going to get what you get. Yeah. And but that's interesting. So, do any of you use AI for your own work?
I don't like using it. I'm gonna be honest. I've actually never used AI. Like, I've never meant to use it. Like, obviously, it pops up when I search things up on Google, but I never actively go on ChatGPT or Gemini AI and ask it to do my work for me, because I think that AI is making us a bit dumber per se.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, and I don't want to be one of those people that have to rely on AI, because actually one of my teammates who's sitting right next to me, she's told our team how she's felt a bit reliant on AI, and I've realized that I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be someone who relies on artificial intelligence when I can be my own person and rely on myself.
Yeah, so these are the words of a freshman in high school. As the years pass, she's gonna realize just how hard school gets. You know, I'm gonna be honest, I do depend on AI, but I would like to say I use it responsibly. Like, I make sure that when I use it, I am learning what it gives me, and yeah.
Oh, sorry. I think for me, I use AI, but I use it obviously like as a tool. I don't solely rely on it. A lot of the times it's either to brainstorm or to give me ideas. But once it gives me the idea or like the foundation for it, then I build off of it, like with my own research and stuff. Because sometimes I'm lost. I don't know where to begin, and that's where the ChatGPT or the Gemini AI, that's where it helps like guide me towards where to go. But I don't solely use it. Like, let's say for a math class, like, if they give me a worksheet, I don't take a picture of it and then ask for it to solve my problems. If anything, if there's a question that I'm stuck on, I ask for, like, how do you do it? Like, I still learn the process. I don't just look for the answer. That's how I use AI.
Honestly, I do use AI a lot. I rely on it a lot, but I actually think that this process, this debate, like, it did make me reflect on my actions and how I am very, like, reliable on, no, I am very reliant on AI, because honestly, I would just copy and paste. Come on. I'm not going to sit here and, like, lie to you guys, but yeah, I would should just copy and paste. Like, I wouldn't, like, take the time to actually, like, learn the subject. And after this debate, like, it did make me reflect, and now I've been trying to use AI less, and when I do use it, now I actually think about the process, and I try to do all my work. Notice how I said try.
Well, that is fantastic. You know, and I do think that, you know, as we look at your generation, that, you know, you're the ones that are growing up with AI. Yeah. You know, so it's like, the generation right ahead of you, not so much. My generation, forget it. You know, you know, I was around when the internet first started, and it's like, wow, this is, you know, I think we would have had the same conversation about, is the internet good or is it bad? Because there's some really good stuff on it, and there's some really bad stuff. You know, and both sides will make money on it, and that's what it really comes right down to. So. But once you learn how to use it and make those decisions, that's great. But we've kind of gotten off the subject, but not really. I mean, this was what you guys got to debate. Yeah. Yes. You are the state champion migrant debate team. What is, you gave us a little hint for next year, but what are your thoughts for next year? What's going to happen with migrant debate at Central?
Well, I think it's very unclear what might happen. We have some of our teammates wanting to go to speech, the different part of the speech and debate program. So, if our team falls apart, then that's it for us.
If the team falls apart, my heart will too.
Cut that out, bro.
It's okay. I like debate. I've done debate. I just did debate this year. I've been doing speech because it's migrant speech and debate. I've been doing speech since fourth grade. But this year I decided to do debate because Emmanuel and Cassandra are my cousins, and then Carla's like my friend from elementary school. So I thought it would be fun to do debate with like people that I love, and I thought it would be fun. So so I decided to debate. But next year, as a senior, there's a scholarship opportunity for if you win first place in speech. So that sounds very tempting. Like it's $1,000 from Judge Nunez that he judges at the competition. So that sounds very tempting. But I did like debate a lot. I like the process of arguing because that's just how I am. I like arguing. Yeah, I like arguing. So I really did like debate. So I think I will continue with debate because I really liked. Yeah, I really liked it.
We have that on record, okay? She can't.
You as a freshman, are you gonna do it?
Yeah, I was thinking like if Alexa leaves, cause I'm not like I don't want to be Glazer, but she is our best debate member. And if she leaves, then I think the team will fall apart because, I feel like, she has, like, leadership skills, and then she's really good at debating. She's a good speaker. And I think that she was one of the main reasons that we won because she was rebuttal. Yeah. So she was good with her words. Like, she rebutted the other team's points really well. And I think that gave us a lot of points. So I was planning, like, if she doesn't, then I'll do it because it gives us a better chance to win if she's there.
Y'all are just going to have to step up.
Huh?
Y'all are just going to have to step up.
Yeah. Guess.
Well, I appreciate you all coming in here. This is the very, last couple days of school. And congrats again. You represent Central well. You represent the Valley well. And that's what it's really all about. Because once you won from, the Imperial Valley competition, then you became the representatives of the Valley, not just Central. So we do appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
This program was produced and brought to you by Spartan Sound Productions. Special thanks to the Imperial Valley Social Justice Committee for sharing the information on the upcoming Juneteenth event. Thanks also to Dr. Thomas Tacky, creator and executive producer of Spartan Sound Productions, the administration of Central Union High School, Mr. Javier Fimbres, and Pioneer 98 for hosting us. And to you, the listeners.